Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to our new podcast. And well, in this podcast, we have a very unique guest here. Well, I would like to welcome Michael from Trade the Pool. Hey Michael, how are you doing?
Hey Jay, thanks so much for having me. I'm good.
Yeah, so guys, before we begin, I would like to say you that Michael is a very unique guest that we have right now. Michael is the CEO of Trade the Pool. You know, the only platform, and you can see the only platform that actually provides you, allows you to trade with stocks and not only the CFDs that other firms, they say. So I would like Michael to explain a bit about how this thing works.
Yeah, so when I first started, I'm a trader myself, so I started roughly 17 years ago, and a few years ago I lost a bunch of money, almost 100K in 3 days, and that was the point when I said to myself, why no one stopped me, right? Because the broker don't care if I lose my money. And then I came up with the idea of basically creating this, as we call it today, a prop firm, but creating some place, some trading platform that will cap my risk. So instead of going all in and risking everything, it completely changed the perspective of the trader. So we created trader pool. You go through an evaluation phase. You pay a fee, a very small fee, starting from $47. And once you're in it, that's it. That's the risk that you're taking. Nothing more than this. The rest is trading on our capital and split the profit.
Yeah. How did you came up with this unique name of Trade the Pool?
Yeah. So, trade, obviously, the pool is something that before creating Trade a Pool, I used to be the head of the traders in a prop firm in a local shop here. We always talked about it that we are trading one big pool, right? There is one chunk of money. There was a big account of few good $1 million that every one of us I had like almost 70 traders there, and every one of us traded from that pool. So in my mind, it's already been very clear: trade the pool, trading that
Hmm.
big pile of money. Yeah.
This one thing that I was just thinking before we actually started this podcast. So I was doing some research and I saw that we have the fires who is into forex and CFD industry, and then
Mhm.
we have Trader the Pool which is into stocks. So can we expect something for the futures trading or futures?
Yeah, I mean, on the like futures, the contracts, you mean?
Yep.
Um, I cannot say yet, but there is always something. We love to work on projects and continue to push our boundaries, and obviously helping our traders, bringing more guys in, and really working this ecosystem.
Mhm.
So we are working on many projects currently that we will probably launch within up to 3 months, but I cannot
Mhm.
really say specific. Yeah.
I think I got the hint. Maybe I think I got the hint. By the way, by the way, there are like not many competitors for Trade the Pool that actually offer stocks. But some people they promise that they provide actual stocks. Do you think they are true, or again they are just doing another marketing gimmick for it?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we have many of those in the market, and and most of our traders currently coming from either Canada or the US, UK, some from India, and they're always looking for not trading the CFDs necessarily, but actually trading real shares. And this is something that when we created Trade a Pool, and I sat with Gil, the founder, and he said maybe we should take it to the CFD, and then I said no, we need real shares. So we talked about it and realized that this is the best solution for us. We have 12,000 symbols, stocks, ETFs, anything that you want traded in the US, we got it.
Hmm. And just Trade the Pool actually ebook traders.
Actually, what?
Do you actually ebook all the traders?
A book all the traders? No, no. Obviously, there is a big team here around. the risk management side that monitoring the trades on a regular basis. We also have algos that chasing or automation that checking everything, and they decide when to take you to the market, which orders. Maybe you trade in, for example, you trade in Tesla. We will take some of it to the market, but you trade in also Nvidia, and we'll skip that trade because the thing about risk management when it comes to prop, it's not just looking at one account, right? When you trade in your own capital, that's it, you're trading your own capital. But here we need to manage everything around it, so there's a lot of a book, a lot of b book, and we need to figure out how to manage it, how to edge ourselves. From time to time you will buy 100 share of Tesla and we will buy 200 shares of Tesla, or we will buy 50 shares of Tesla. So it's always a game on balancing and finding the proper way to manage the risk and make money from it.
By the way, with this, as you said, Tesla. By the way, which is the most traded stock at Trade the Pool?
Yeah, Tesla, yeah, of course.
Is there any specific reason why people are preferring Tesla?
I mean, when Elon Musk is talking about and tweeting all the time, and the Trump administration and everything around it, and Tesla is so volatile, tons of volume, you gotta trade it. Yeah.
By the way, seeing the trades, like let's say seeing the how the stocks are performing right now, or how the traders are trading at Trade the Pool, can you predict the future of any particular country or in any particular markets?
For you're talking about like a trader that will
Uh,
predict it?
no, like as a company, you got lots of data, right?
Yeah. So first of all, this is a great question. I love those questions because one of the things that I enjoy the most is drilling down to the trader's performance, right? Because I'm looking from a trader perspective, it's always super interesting to just try to understand what we got on our hands, right? So we call it profiles, and we have profiles for each trader, and we put you, let's say you're shorting penny stocks, right? And in most cases you're aggressive, you're going in full in all the buying power you can use. So we will put you on the profile, the aggressive profile, and once we have those, we can start seeing the direction as you mentioned it. Obviously it's a work in progress and it takes a lot of time and a lot of data to analyze. But for example, if we're seeing that everyone is trading right now, I don't know, some small cap like IBO in the last few days. So everyone is tracking that. Everyone is going short right now. If you see that your top traders is going short, it's probably going to work. There is chances for it to work. So there's a lot of cool and complex, very complex mechanism to that. So yeah.
And by the way, have you ever saw this, also known as Wall Street guys coming to Trade the Pool?
We do have a few of those, not a whole lot, I gotta say, because a lot of the guys that come into us, it's because they want to keep the risk and they want to enough fund, enough capital to trade with, right? And the
Yeah.
guys on Wall Street, they do have the capital, but
Mm-hmm.
we have a few of those. We treat them a bit different,
Mm-hmm.
because they already know what they're doing. And let's
Yeah.
say traders that been around for like 10 years, profitable, send their track records. We need to treat them differently when it comes to managing our risk with them. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we have a
By the way, I just now there is this question that just came into my mind. I was just curious to know. Okay, so right now, which is the like longest, what I can say, holding funded account? Like, which trader is like the longest funded account right now? What I can say in terms of time.
as funded.
Yeah, like how long? Like what I can say, highest, and which trader is like funded for a very long time? What's
Yeah,
the
so
time?
so funded almost 2 years, and we've been around. We launched Trade Pool at the end of August 2023, 2022. Sorry, 2022, and yeah, so probably 2 or 3 months after, we already have, for example, Arbnor is one of our great guys that been for a long time with us and also made more than 50, 60,000. There are interviews that I did with him, a few of those that I did with him on YouTube. Um, so yeah.
And by the way, how usually when when we talk about, let's say, forex or CFDs platforms, we see traders, they just blow their account quickly, maybe within a few minutes once they get the challenge. So is it something very similar for the stocks, or something completely different?
Yeah, I didn't see a few minutes, but I did see a day, like a day, 2 days. Obviously, traders are traders. Doesn't matter which market, right? There are forex trader, future, stocks, option, whatever. We are all. It's a decision making and a lot of disciplines involved with it. And of course, there are guys that will go all in. They will try to win this one lucky trade that will make them a fortune, right?
Yeah,
So we do have some that will lose their account fast. But what I like to see, and this is also something that I've been doing interviews for many of our funded traders, and this is something that I see occurring every time, where they actually, even if you lose a few accounts, three, five accounts, if you have the consistency and really want to achieve that, you will eventually. I saw guys that blew 10 accounts and on the 11th account made to the funded, took profit, and actually covered all the loss from the first 10 accounts. So it's really about resilient, right?
yeah. And which pair is most profitable for your traders at Trade the Pool?
Profitable in what way?
Which is the most profitable, what I can just stock for the traders at Trade the Pool?
The specific ticker, you mean?
Yeah. Which stock is most profitable, most profitable for the
So,
traders?
so I gotta say, it's not a specific one, but a lot of our traders like to trade penny stocks. So when you trade in penny stocks, it's different stock every day. Basically, you're waiting for the pump and then the dump and all of that. But like I said, on the or at least on the volume side is definitely Tesla. From time to time, we do post it also on social media because it's interesting for the guys to see, and to hear about it. The most volume, the most traded, the most profitable, and those things. So um, yeah.
By the way, let's move something ahead, a bit far away from the prop trading. And what's your thoughts on discussing a bit about, because I love books. So let's talk a bit about stock trading books, maybe, if you would like.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, so I have recently read a few books on stock trading. I have the books in front of me right now, like Security Analysis, The Intelligent Investor, Warren
Mhm.
Buffett Way, and
Yeah.
One Up on the Wall Street, a random walk in this Wall Street, a random walk down the Wall Street.
Yeah.
So, which book do you think is a must read for the prop traders, or not the prop traders, but the stock traders?
Yeah, I will give you two that I believe. Obviously, there are many super talented writers and traders uh, that publish their books, and I didn't read all of them, but I gotta give you at least those two that closer to my heart. One is the Bible of technical analysis, which is John Murphy.
Yeah, John Buffett.
Technical analysis by John Murphy. It's by far, at least when you start. I read it a few times, 600 pages in English. It was tough because I didn't know right from the beginning. I didn't know a lot of the terms, so I went to the dictionary and started to look for it. It was a tough one, but it was amazing. And the second one, it more of a just how the market behaves and the structure and let's call it the manipulation of the price. It's reminisced by you know
Stock
uh, by a
operator.
stock operator. Yeah,
I have
so
read that book. That's my
it's an
favorite.
amazing book. I read it maybe 5 or 6 times,
Yeah,
and every time that you read it, you get something extra from
I
it,
still
right?
I still have that book in front of me, kept on the shelf.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a great one.
And have you read these books like A Random Walk on the Wall Street or Security Analysis?
I didn't. I didn't. No.
Oh, perfect. And do you think the psychology, like you know, I have heard a lot from the people that stocks are like one of the least risky markets compared to forex and then futures and then crypto. So do you think this is true?
More risky, you say? I don't think so. There's a lot of opportunities in the stock market, and this is something that everyone should be aware of, right? When you
Yeah.
trade in the forex market, you trade in 20, 30 pairs. When you trade in futures, you also have like 30 assets. When it comes to stocks, you trade in 12,000. You have the ability to trade 12,000. But I gotta add here that even if you're a forex trader, right? It doesn't mean that you need to leave and push aside your forex trading. You just wanna diverse your portfolio, right? So you trade in a little bit of forex, you trade in a little bit of stocks, maybe you add in some futures to it as well. So the more versatile you will be, the more opportunities you will have in order to find the right setup, basically, which we all looking for.
Perfect. And by the way, again, now let's move more towards the prop industry again. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk a bit about cheaters. You know,
Okay.
yeah. So in the CFD industry, or you can say forex industry, we see a lots of cheaters coming
Mm.
and trying to cheat.
Yeah.
So, do you also see many cheaters at Trade the Pool?
So luckily, no, and I'm not quite sure. Still, not quite sure why, but we do have the rules to protect us, and we have a risk team that is always on the spot, watching everything, and we have we're tracking all the data and we analyze it. So this is something that we do very efficiently. I might say. I may say, and also this is something that we really like to be part of and really understand it. Um, I can definitely understand there is guys that will try to cheat or manipulate whatever it is, but this is probably not a big chunk comparing to other companies. It's not a big chunk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is one question that I ask to every CEO that comes to our platform,
Sure.
our podcast.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever tried to blackmail you?
Not yet, not yet. Yeah, maybe in the future. I don't know, but I'm okay. I think that as long I believe in karma, so I think that as long as we do good, the universe listen.
Yeah. And then again, like, why are we seeing that there are very few stock prop firms compared to forex or futures? Is it regarding the tech that is not available for the stocks? Like, we have many tech providers for the forex and futures, or there is something else going behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think it comes from a different parameters. One will be that the understanding of the market is more complex. There are tons of things you need to accomplish behind the scene. You need to get your license from Nasdaq. You need to find a vendor that normalize the feed. the trading platform, the rule. There are a lot of complexity behind the scene. That's what this is definitely something that you know companies don't want to deal with, don't want that hassle. Um, and besides that, it's like in the forex or the future industry at the beginning. At the beginning there were two companies, FTMO and the Fivers, right? Or maybe one more. On futures, you had only Top Step or something else. So I think we're just at the beginning, and I'm guessing by the end of 2025, we will get at least one more stock company similar to us. That and from there, it will be easier for everyone to get in. Second thing, it's just a matter of funds as well, to put up the capital in order to go for the A book to the real market, and just the full operation behind it. It's more expensive than forex, for example.
Yeah, and by the way, if you talk in terms of competition, so do you see like competitions coming up as a healthy competition, or just what I can say, a
No,
toxic or aggressive competition?
obviously, I'm definitely looking for competition, because I know it's easier for us because we are the only one. But when you're the only one, there is no one to talk with you about, right? So when you go on social media and you don't talk about two options, it's automatically less effective, or the impact is much lower than you have two or three competitors. And I'm hoping that one of the big companies will join me on this one. Maybe a Top Step company or FTMO, those guys that can join as well to this field of stock industry.
And do you think they will be able to offer 12,000 stocks and so many, what I can say, stocks plus
Um,
the indices?
I mean, a strong company that have enough capital and understand the process of everything should do that, could do that. Obviously, they will offer their, and we will offer ours. We are mainly focusing. We just launched the new programs, two new programs, one with unlimited time. This is something that a lot of traders wanted, and we tracked the data, understood that we can do that, and we released it. So we always listen to our traders, and we're mainly focusing on that and on content. We are, as traders, we know the path of becoming a trader that can actually perform well. So we are always, we have our live YouTube channel with Mitch and Michael Nas, two great guys. We have webinars, live events. We did an event in London last year. Um, and we're probably going to be in the States at around October. We're going to do some events there. So we always into that.
When are they planning to coming to India and do a event in India?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, like I told you offline, my wife will visit soon, and
Yeah.
and I will love to come, but not for work, just to travel, because I have so many friends that been there, and they're all saying
Mhm.
it's amazing. So this is definitely something to visit.
If you're coming, let me know. I can just, I can be a tour guide and take you like places like what it will be mesmerizing for you to visit these places. By the
That I'm,
way, yeah. By the way, coming back to the topic,
yeah.
at Trade the Pool, which type of traders do you think are most profitable? Are they swing traders, day traders, or scalpers?
Yeah, so we do have most of our traders are day traders. We do have very successful traders on the swing side. Not a whole lot of them, but like quantity wise, we don't have a lot. But they're the quality of the traders are very big, are very strong there. Um, and yeah, but in most cases, the most profitable will be on the day trader side. Um, it's split between penny stocks to large cap, like the big seven.
Yeah, but By the way, do you know about this thing called as black swan event?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And there has been speculations going around that the way Trump is shaping their policies, it can lead to a black swan event in USA. So, do you think this is something that is going to happen or not?
I'll tell you this. First of all, there are always crashes, right? Market crashes. It's been around forever. It's going to be one day we will see another big crash. This is inevitable, right? But specifically for a black swan, the whole concept of the black swan is that something that we cannot predict. So if everyone is talking about a crash, it doesn't make sense that this is the black swan because otherwise everyone will be prepared for that, right? Either taking shorts or closing their positions, their long positions. So maybe the black swan will come from crisis in water or something that is super unique for the entire world and not just specifically for the US economy.
Hmm.
That's
And
what that's my thought.
and by the way, how do you see the Trump and its policies shaping the U.S. stock market and U.S. markets?
Yeah, if if you take out the last month or so when the market is
Hmm.
dropping,
Yeah,
a lot of the guys there on Wall Street, they love Trump because he's coming is very capital, and is very unique approach and America first, and
yeah.
investors, they love this approach. So
Hmm.
in that case, I think the overall will be right,
Yeah,
unless there's a lot of ego in the top, right?
yeah.
The leaders around the world in general. There's a
Hmm.
lot of ego going on there. So,
Yeah. By the way, do you also follow up on the global, what I can say, global stocks like, let's say, Nifty of India, or
mm.
do you also follow those?
So for trade pool, we are looking to expand and bring in more markets to trade pool for
Yep.
India, for Germany, the
Yeah.
UK as well.
But
Um,
you personally, like, do you personally look at like a study or just like having a case study at Nifty, or personally trying to understand Nifty? Do you personally like see at Nifty or only US stocks?
Mostly US stocks and also a little bit of like general in Asia, for example, Japan, China, and from Europe, the UK and the FTSE, the CAC and the DAX. Yeah.
And like recently, I have seen like Indian market, they have been falling, like they have been closing in red for the last, I believe, 5 to 6 months. Okay. So, and at the same time, we see like Chinese, what I can say, stocks going up, Chinese indices going up, and
Mhm.
US indices also going up at the same time. So, do you think there might be a correlation, or what I can say, the policies of Trump or the policies of China, something involved? And even we are seeing like the European markets going up, and at the same time, Indian markets, they were like just going down, closing in red. Although they are covering up now, but do you think there is a correlation between all these things?
Yeah, no doubt, and it's incredible topic, to dive into and to learn it because it's super complex. China is invested in the U.S. The U.S. invested in China in the European market. Russia, the war with Ukraine, and
Yeah.
everything around it is so really so complex, and everything affect everything. Right? It's like the butterfly effect when you
Yeah.
do something so far away, but it's actually changing everything 5,000 kilometers from that.
Hmm.
So obviously there is a correlation, and everyone involved with everyone business. So the
and
economies are like mixed.
and there's also these interest rates and the price of dollar. affects how the stock market will react.
Yeah, for sure. The price of dollar, the crude oil, gold, commodities in
How
general. Yeah.
how do they actually correlate?
I mean, when it comes to, there is a classic approach when the gold is safe haven, right? So every time the market is crashes, everyone thinking, okay, where should I put my money? Let's put it on gold, right? If you have a war with Russia or Iran that related to oil, you will see the crude spikes, right? So everything is connected. A lot of the times, and this is might sound conspiracy, right? But a lot of the times, those war that we see in life, right? Um, they're planned and well executed because they want to shift and change other commodities or other minerals in the
Hmm.
world. That
Yeah.
so
So
yeah,
do you also follow up on gold? Do you also have a look on gold?
I do from time to time. Yeah, yeah.
Where do you see the gold going up in near future?
Yeah, it's a good question. If I'm right, and the U.S. market will continue to fall, if I'm right, I don't know if I'm right, but if then the gold probably should continue to rally.
And what about US oil, or you can say oils basically?
The crude oil.
Yeah.
So
How, okay, just the last thing. How does crude oil relates to the, like, how does crude oil influence US stocks?
yeah, so we saw that, for example, in during COVID, right? When you didn't have when companies like a lot of the flying companies, right, like United Airlines and Delta and all of those guys, when they bought tons of oil barrels, and basically they didn't have any use for that, right? So we saw the crude oil dumping like crazy. Even it went to minus 20 or something like that. Forgot the number. I, I bought it at around $20 at the time. It was super super low. So we see that all the time when there is a major crisis. It will affect everything. Now you need to know which one will be more affected than the other, and if if it dropped enough to start buying the dip, because that's the situation when it comes to a crisis, right? You want to understand where do you actually start to buy the dip.
Perfect. By the way, where do you see trade the pool over the next 5 years? 5 years. 5 years.
Five
Five
years, yeah,
years.
5 years.
Yeah.
um, First of all, we have, like I said, a lot of projects that come in the next year and this year and next year. Definitely expanding to more markets around the world related to stocks and ETFs, but definitely around the world. That's one thing we want to achieve. We want to connect a lot of other trading platform to our system. So you can trade from TradingView, you can trade from TrendSpider, from Bookmap, trade ideas, whatever, with whatever is your platform, you can do that. And this is definitely something we're aiming for to start very soon. And we want to think of more ways besides the prop industry on how to bring traders together. We really enjoy the company. When we've been in London, we had like 500 traders that came to London and meet us there, and we're thinking of those elements as well.
Mhm. And by the way, which are some of the top countries for the trade the pool as of now?
Which is what? Sorry.
The top countries for trade the pool, like top countries, like which countries,
Yeah, yeah.
which
The country. Sorry, I misdo that. First of all, is the U.S. because it makes sense. A lot of the U.S. traders, uh, we don't have the PDT rule, so you don't need $25,000 to day trade. Um, and also just the fact that Americans just they start and learn about the stock market from day one, so it just makes sense. Also from Canada, UK, India, so then we have plenty from all over the world. Yeah.
So, okay, this is something very unique. Do you see like US traders at Trade the Pool being more profitable, or the traders from other countries are more profitable?
Oh, that's a great question because this is also something that we love to check. Just to compare the data between countries, assets, and countries. So you will see traders from, like you said, from the U.S. comparing to Germany, right? Um, Basically, we do see that the traders in the U.S. are most of them are very very good. Uh, not necessarily because of discipline, something that I would have thought, but because the familiarity, right? They understand the concept better and understand how it works better. So I think it's coming from that angle. But a lot of them are really, really great traders. And we do have groups, smaller groups coming from Asia, for example, Hong Kong, China, India, that are very focused on a specific group of specific asset, for example, and just Nvidia or just Tesla. And then they're doing really good because they understand the asset again.
Mhm. By the way, I have this very creative questions for you as a CEO.
Yeah.
Suppose you had like unlimited budget for 1 month. What
For
was
one
the thing
month?
for 1 month? Yeah. So,
Okay.
what strategy would you have implemented for marketing and for growth? We are talking about unlimited budget, so you are not restricted with any amount.
To be honest, for 1 month, what I would do, I would take a mansion in Miami, in Florida. I would bring 30 traders to it, and for the full month, we will learn how to trade. We will trade together. We will see everyone progress. We will have maybe some parties at the evening, but we will be definitely filming it and showing the world how it works. Yeah.
Mm. And how do you see influencers at Trade the Pool? Like, how are you trying to leverage them at Trade the Pool?
So obviously, we're reaching out to a lot of the guys on YouTube and social media. We want to collaborate with them. Um, but we are looking for. We're not just looking for someone that we can pay in order to create a video for us or something like that. We're actually looking for. We just talked to the other day. We talked to Matt Diamond. A great YouTuber that usually trade options, stocks, a little bit of futures, and what we told him, and he's actually a great guy. We're looking for partners, right? So it's not just about here take $1,000 and create a video on Trade a Pool, but actually let's do stuff together. Let's come to our live trading room, trade with us, right? Maybe take evaluation account, and review it and show the guys one step at a time how you do it and how you pass the evaluation. So to bring more value to our traders, but not just necessarily push and do like campaign ads and all of those things that I fairly don't care about too much. I rather give more value, and I believe the guys will understand that we give value and they will come to us.
Hmm. And by the way, let's say there is a trader who is just beginning with stock trading, or who is just in the learning phase. Would you recommend them to start with Trade the Pool, or you would just ask them to wait, learn, and then buy a challenge?
Yeah, that's also an interesting question that I like at the beginning of the year, the first year when we started. So I thought that most of the traders that will come to us should know how to trade already, right? Should have a background of at least a year of trading and then only come to us. But actually, I realized when I did the funded interview, when I talked to our funded traders, and some of them in trading for like 3 months, 6 months, and they passed the evaluation, and they told me, This is what we needed at the beginning, right?" Those traders, like when you start trading, you actually want to trade with us. You want to trade on the evaluation, because imagine how much money you will save from losing when trading with us, right? You pay $47 for evaluation. Let's say you took 10 of those, right? $470. This is nothing compared to what you would have lost on your broker account. So now that I got a different perspective from the traders, I realized everyone should start trading with Trader Pool, no matter if you're doing it for the first day or 10 years.
Oh, perfect. And I think, Michael, let's wrap this up quickly right now because it's
Yeah,
been already 40 minutes since we are in the podcast.
no
So,
worry.
well, guys, thank you so much. If you're watching till the end, I have a surprise for you. We are going to hide 10 different coupon codes in this video, and if you can find these coupon codes, you can get a chance to get a free perform challenge. So, well, you can mail us at support@redthetreasureprop.com if you found these coupon codes. So, well, thank you so much, Michael, for joining with us on this podcast. And before we end, do you want to share anything with the traders or with the traders who actually want to go into stock trading from the forex or crypto?
Yeah, for sure. So, first of all, thanks so much. And just go check us out at tradepool.com. We have tons of information. If you're coming from Forex, we have a specific page that we created that explain everything from A to Z on how to become a stock trader when coming from Forex. Every nuances that you need to understand. Also, if you're coming for futures, we have the same thing. And besides that, we have a huge VOD, a video on demand page with more than 100 videos that explain everything.
Yeah. So, well, thank you so much, Michael, for joining for this podcast. And we was just like this video so that we can bring Michael again for the second podcast on this same channel, and if possible, face to face podcast near soon. So, well, thank you so much, Michael, for joining.
Thanks so much.